Says we're going live. I just have to remove that one. It says some accounts can't go live.
We are live.
We're not live yet, are we?
We are live.
All right. Well.
Hey everybody! Welcome to this week's episode of All Elite Weekly. We're less than 2 weeks from AEW All In, and some big news, some breaking news as we speak. In the last hour or two, AEW have just announced that All In 2025 will take place at the Global Life in Arlington, Texas, on the 12th of July. Move to 12th of July in this country.
Yes.
But 12th of July in Texas, they don't have to worry about orange days. But Mark, welcome back to the show. As always, Mark is our resident AEW Mark, so he's here going to fill you in on all the details and anything else we haven't already found out about this huge announcement. What do you know?
Much the same as you. I think most people knew this announcement was coming, didn't know how soon. Tony Khan midweek was talking about wrestling's better when you don't know these things are lined up or announced. I think the most telling thing was the most interesting thing was the change of date for All In. It's funny the amount of, before we get into that, it's funny the amount of negativity that a positive news story can create, that people's reaction is to try poo-poo something that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like somebody's first stadium show in America, in a domed stadium, Texas Ranger Stadium, in Arlington, Texas, outside of Dallas, the Dallas Metroplex area. I'm not really understanding the logic why people are kind of so negative on it. Is it because it's not Cowboy Stadium? Which, I mean, I don't think that'd be realistic. I think there's costs involved in these things as well. And as people are aware that this Arlington residency, AEW were being paid for the residency as well. So there's obviously going to be, they're now able to demand site fees for these things as well. So due to this ilk. So you're going to get paid to run a pay-per-view plus generate revenue and marginal profit from running a pay-per-view in Texas. Has been their hottest area for a long time. It's a no-brainer. I think it's incredible news. I think that's a top start there. The fact that it's being run mid-July is a bit weird to me. Firstly, because it's going to be bloody hot. I was there 2 years ago for WrestleMania 38, and it was March, and I was nearly scalded alive. But anyway, July will be bloody hot, and what's the knock-on effect for that in AEW Forbidden Door? There's been previous mootings in the AEW pre-show media call that we were on previously. Tony Khan half teased they might do Forbidden Door in the UK, or they might do Forbidden Door elsewhere. So the Forbidden Door this year initially had been slated to be at Arthur Ashe Stadium, but that kind of fell away. And then he teased hosting it in the UK for 2025. So a lot of these plans have obviously been in motion for some time, but people only get wind of them lately. And like well-trained guinea pigs at this stage, the Twitterati just decide to react negatively because that's the way they're trained to be, and just want to poo-poo everything. And even the people in the UK, but why isn't it coming back to the UK? Because like it's a brand. Like WrestleMania doesn't run the same town 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row.
It is coming back, but he also said in the same press conference, it is coming back in 2026. Like, it is, yeah. Year. I mean, it's the same headline.
WWE a couple of years ago ran Clash of the Castle in Cardiff. Didn't do half as well as they thought they were going to do. So they stopped running European shows. AEW runs AEW Wembley All In. Smashed it, the highest attendance record for an individual show of all time. And then from there, WWE starts running arena shows around the UK and Europe to negate it happening again. So there's a reason why Bash in Berlin, which has never been done before, is a week after AEW All In. The summer leading up to, you've got the Leon show, then you've got Clash of the Castle in Glasgow. All these things to negate people, or giving people a choice. Will I travel from mainland Europe over to England to watch a show, or will I just go to the show that's closer nearby to me and probably at a different cost in terms of like travel, hotels and whatnot? And it's been effective. It has been effective, and just in perception wise, it's been very lucrative for WWE, of course. It's its stated aim was kind of negating AEW has been very, very successful, and that obviously the Sadiq Khan the mayor of London has no interest in addressing any issues going on in the city currently, be it riots or whatnot. But he's happy to hold a mini W championship belt and look like a tiny little man.
So weird.
Hold a press conference about something that may not happen or may happen in the future. Like he's teasing that it possibly could be. And if Nick Khan and Triple H are saying, let's go have a press conference about it, sure, we're not committed to anything. Let's just go over and have a conversation with the guy. How much money are you going to give us, knowing that it's never going to happen? So, like, it's win-win for WWE. It's moving to Texas for AEW. All In is win-win for AEW. I'd probably prefer. I'm a massive AEW mark, but I think he should have left it open-ended regarding Wembley, because there's news about like AEW running a stadium show in the east coast of Australia and whatnot. I think you should look to expand your reach further rather than kind of go back to the same market and saturate. Because there's always first-time markets are always hotter than second-time markets. These things. So
well, it's their first stadium. It's their first stadium show in America. So
you could argue that Arthur Ashe Stadium was when they ran. Jeremy, it's
for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's pretty cool. It's a really, really cool news, and like, obviously there's more announcements to come over the coming weeks. But it's a big deal, and you get to see the big stars to the press conference they've had today with Mercedes Moné, Swerve Strickland, Athena being the kind of the front and center trio, Thunder Rosa, Dustin Rhodes, Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, Paul White was there, Renee Paquette was there. So like it's all. I just don't know why people have to like just try create a negative spin on something. Like obviously you've got the likes of Raj Giri and stuff who will just kind of try and, or Dave Scher, like, just what are you doing? Just you don't have to be triggered by everything.
Simon in the chat is saying, do you think this will be a sellout stadium show?
Yeah, it's 40,000 seater. 40,000. I'll say that instantly. I'd say the Texas market and where it's located. Other Texas shows do really, really good business, and I think given where they are, I think they'll end up partnering quite heavily with CMLL. So you'll have quite a heavy Mexican Latino influence in that, which draw huge numbers. That they sell at 20,000.
I said Simon. It's actually Steve from SCW. Steve's a big supporter.
Hello, Stephen. How are you, my friend?
Big supporter of the channel, Steve. Let us know what your thoughts are, Steve, as well on the chat. Dean is also in the chat. He's wondering what's going to happen to London. We said that's going to be 2026 and presume All Out. You think maybe All Out? It's good though that this it's going to be earlier, like it's July, because this year we're having All Out.
Is it good though?
I think so, because
so what happens to Forbidden Door?
Forbidden Door was earlier anyway. That's in June, isn't it, or May or June time?
It's not. Your Double or Nothing's typically the tail end of May, and then you have Forbidden Door kind of midsummer typically.
Well, this year it was June, right?
End of June, yeah. So what's the ramifications of this then going to be?
I don't know.
it's just going to be planning, so it's just they're going to be tweaking the calendar.
Just saying, last year they had All In and All Out a week after each other. This year they have All In and All Out 2 weeks after each other. And they have Arthur Ashe, a couple of weeks later after that. So there's so much stuff crammed into a short period of window. Like it's, it's going to be hard to. It's always going to be hard to try and get the same anticipation for one show. Last year, like, 80,000 people coming to All In, which is never done before. It's a brand new thing. Everybody's going to be excited for it. And then you had to build a whole new story within the week for All Out, and then for Arthur Ashe.
But they didn't have to build new stories within the week. There were continuous. If you watch the stories that were, there's no matches that were set up in the space of a week for All Out last year. Like it was really cool the way they did it last year, I thought, and it's kind of been similarly cool that you're kind of doing concurrent storylines, being built throughout the summer. That some of them don't happen to fit on one card, and some that are naturally evolved. Like the two headline matches for All Out last year were Jon Moxley and Orange Cassidy, and then you had Ricky Starks versus Bryan Danielson, and they weren't really featured. Any of them on it would have been CM Punk versus Ricky Starks, if not for change of course. But like that's is what it is. Things were really, really cleverly done last year, and I think things have been quite similarly done quite well for this year in terms of current storylines. I think the current format they have in terms of Forbidden Door being midsummer, kind of in between pay-per-view cycles, has suited them since they launched the IP of Forbidden Door 2 or 3 years ago. And I just think what's it going to do now? Because then you're going to try for fit Forbidden Door around All Out. Where are you going to try to fit it in? So it's just curious timing. But as I say, let it all play out. Like I think there'll be a good chance they'll do a UK arena show next year around Forbidden Door.
I think maybe the possibility of doing more Dynamite and Collision tapings in the UK again, as opposed to just doing a one-off pay-per-view.
Why?
Just because. Why not? Why not have a live show that that's a weekly episode that's going to be taped and people are going to want to come and see it? There's a need in the UK.
So you want a house show? So you want the TV shows or do you want a house show?
No, an actual TV show taping, like a Dynamite Collision, like they're doing in Cardiff on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think they might have room for. But I mean, you can do it like if they're doing a big show and a big event in the UK, like be it Forbidden Door or whatever is it we've talked about. You can do it like they have from this week. That say if you've got a Forbidden Door being recorded on Saturday, you could do or Sunday you could have a Collision or a Rampage recorded on a Friday, or you can do the Wednesday as well. So like that's easily attainable. But I mean, I suppose if you're looking for more dates in between that, you're looking for a house show tour then as opposed to TV tapings.
Well, not necessarily, because you see WWE have done that in the past where they've just come over for SmackDown or a Raw live show. Not actually a pay-per-view. They've come. Yeah, but
they're based around house show tours.
Not necessarily. No, they've come over for a once-off.
No. Every time they do taping is they do full week tours leading up to an advance. They don't do random tapings without having dates prior and after. Anytime that you've seen them in Manchester or London or anywhere around Europe, it's always been based around house show tours that they do across Europe. Everything WWE does is based around week-long tours. So if AEW were to add more dates, you'd be asking for house shows rather than more TV tapings. Because otherwise you're asking for come over Wednesday, leave in between, come back the following Wednesday, and that wouldn't really make sense economically more than anything.
Yeah. Well, like the news is out there. I know there's also talks of some other news about maybe the TV deal or streaming services and stuff that hasn't been officially announced yet. So we're sure that'll be nice. Maybe during All In press conference or something, or maybe sooner.
Yeah, could be today, could be tomorrow, could be a month from now. You never know.
Steve in the chat, he says he hopes it sells out. It's been built as their biggest show for the last 2 years. I think it's a great point made with working with CMLL in the market.
Yeah, and I think they could build it around almost being like a Forbidden Door type show if they're going to do a joint venture with CMLL, but they've got more than enough IP and strength in the market. Their historic kind of Texas runs they've had and the kind of hot shows they've had, particularly kind of those border towns. I think they'll have the likes of Mystico will be in a tag. You'll have, I don't know, who else do you have these days? You'll have Mystico anyway, and he'll sell out about 20,000 tickets off his own bat. Yeah. So yeah, like it's exciting times. They don't need to have a raft of characters. They just need one, really.
Yeah.
That's it. Just Mystico, and they'll be fine.
Speaking of characters, Corey Michaels is in the chat.
Hello, Corey.
If you see
hello, Corey.
If you see MLL, what the can is cooking.
Yes.
La.
Yes.
Steve is also there.
I'm enjoying his LinkedIn content as well.
LinkedIn content, is that a thing?
Professionals work on LinkedIn, Jerry. Yes.
I'm a black belt in LinkedIn. Sorry, thank you very much. With the show being in July, I hope the UK Ireland market still get a show in August under a different name. Perhaps Craven Cottage could be a venue.
Could be, yeah, but I reckon you're more likely to see a UK state arena show. I reckon you're more likely to see a Wembley Arena or an O2 Arena or something maybe in Manchester, because there's a new arena up in Manchester, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that you're more likely to see. I think you don't need a UK show. I think they should. I personally think they should be looking at maybe a European continent state arena show.
Yeah, what's their fan base like in mainland Europe? Like I know the UK has a big fan base. Where are they? Where can you watch AEW in the European market? Are they streaming?
Warner Brothers are pretty strong across the French market. There's a huge amount of, particularly in France, is very, very strong. Huge awareness around AEW. Like it doesn't have the same historical significance of WWE, but like you're not going to have like the Simplement Deux chants and whatnot, and they're kind of going around the awareness and the kind of love for the French commentators and whatnot. But
Yeah.
I think particularly, France is a market that should be targeted. I think it should be, if you can, do an arena show in Paris next year. Off the back of the Olympics, there's so many new arenas there. Like WWE couldn't run Paris because of the Olympics. They took advantage of Lyon and just scalped every person imaginable. They're all paying €1,000 tickets. But like AEW, I wouldn't treat it as a gouging exercise. I would treat it as a brand building exercise, whereby you generate enough revenue to cover all costs, obviously turn a profit, but like not to the detriment of perception and awareness. And I think that's how you do it. And you try to flog as much merchandise as you can and packages and whatnot, everything that goes around it, rather than the individual ticket prices as WWE do. I think that's what you should be doing. You think you should be looking at doing, say, like a Forbidden Door show in France, with like you could do Dynamite or Collision in London the day before, or something to that effect.
Yeah, maybe Switzerland, the home of Claudio Castagnoli, who's going to be facing
Castagnoli, I don't know about
that. He's going to be facing Okada for the Continental Crown Cup Championship, whatever you want to call it, on Dynamite.
Yes.
So they're not getting a match on All In, but there's talks if Okada may end up in the Casino Gauntlet match. I'm not sure if that's official yet, but Claudio and Okada, what are you looking for? We're going to be at the All In, the Dynamite and Collision tapings on Wednesday. If anybody else in the chat is going, let us know. Are you looking forward to this match?
I am indeed. Yeah, it was an incredible, nice face-off last night, and I like the fact that pretty much everything that's been like turned into a funny, shticky crap last night over the last number of months was mocked on camera almost. Like there was stuff between like the Acclaimed with Okada doing the like kind of the chest pop. I don't know if you can do that, but anyway, the chest popping, and then
I can do that.
And then doing this stupid bitch stuff. And Claudio kind of giving a fire promo, which is brilliant. Like Claudio Castagnoli is going to be over at the CMLL Grand Prix next weekend, so that's why he's not available. We're all in. So yeah, that's the crack. I reckon Okada will be obviously in the Gauntlet match, but you never know. Okada could have a different opponent as well, depending on what happens next Wednesday. I think.
Do you see Okada retaining? Yeah.
I think so.
I think they'd send Claudio out there to defend the Continental title in CML.
He's competing their annual kind of round robin tournament, the Grand Prix tournament. So you've got like Kyle Fletcher will be there. Robbie X is going to be over there.
He's there, right? Yeah.
So that's what's exactly what's going to happen over there. I don't see Claudio Castagnoli beating Okada a few days before All In. Okada, the IAC, winning the whole gauntlet. Penny dropping, and then somebody coming out to confront him would be my guess.
This is for a title match, right? It's for the AEW Championship. The winner gets it. So when is that happening? Because Darby's got one on Arthur Ashe, right? He's guaranteed a title shot on Arthur Ashe. He won that Battle Royal, right?
Was that for that title? The world title? Was it?
Yeah, because he's got Jack Perry. Like he had that, obviously, that segment with Jack Perry last night, and they're having the coffin match. But then Arthur Ashe, he's guaranteed a AEW Championship match. So that was one of the things that was putting me off. Not putting me off, but because it's so close between All In and All In.
Yeah, but having big shows concurrently is good. Yeah,
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like he won the Battle Royal to be AEW, face the AEW champion, but he's also getting a title match, 2 or 3 weeks earlier for the TNT
So I reckon you'll have whoever wins the Casino Gauntlet will obviously have some sort of shot at All Out, I imagine. So yeah, that's
where does that leave? Where does that leave Hangman in this Swerve thing? That's potentially still going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, so why can't it happen?
No, I'm saying where does it leave it? Like where does it leave? Obviously you're obviously thinking Danielson's winning the title.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't win the title,
I believe with all my heart. I believe
but if he doesn't,
he won't.
Scenario B. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. His children have been kidnapped and currently being fed meat. So like and processed sugar and whatnot. So he's not losing after last night. There's not a chance in hell he's losing after last night.
If
There's
only
not
we
after
were
last night.
sponsored
There
by a
is
betting
not the
company.
slightest fucking hope he's losing.
I wish we were sponsored by a betting company. We could put a bet on and just talk about it, because if the outside chance that Swerve wins and Danielson loses, obviously his career's
Swerve's the
over.
man. Swerve will be getting his title back on October 12th in Tacoma, Washington.
Against who though? Who will be champion by then?
Bryan Danielson,
because
he's the best wrestler he's ever breathed.
He's not going to lose it. If he wins it, he's not going to lose it until then.
No, he's gonna win it. He's gonna face somebody probably somebody at All Out.
Whoever wins the gauntlet.
Darby, he'll face. He wants to face Darby. He wants to put over Darby and Swerve as two Washington Northwest guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he's facing them both.
So Nick Wayne wins the gauntlet. So
I think he'll have Pac win the gauntlet actually.
Well, what was going on with him? Because he won a match. He was supposed to have a match at all.
He's got oh no, maybe Pac won't win it then. Jesus. Pac's he got fucked over by the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
Because they were refusing to fulfill their contract.
They're not going to do the job in a way out, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, like, would you not just fulfill the dates in your contract? What other line of work is that acceptable? And your employer knows that you've been openly contract tampered with.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them could have 6 months put onto their contracts based alone on injuries. I would do that.
Well, they should.
They should. I just say, oh, sorry, no, you missed 6 months. Sorry, you're forced. You're being forced to attend your work. We're legally obligated to do so. And if they try to kick up a stink, press charges, sue them.
He's not that petty though, is he?
Should be enforce shit I
know WWE would be petty enough to do that, but I can't see Tony Khan doing that.
I'd say he just wants them out of his hair.
They don't want to be there. Yeah, if they don't want to be there, just get rid of them.
Yeah, but I'd fucking just say fuck that. If you want us to not do this, you turn up to All In. You do your moment with Pac, and then you fuck off into the sunset. That's what I'd do. Your job, then leave.
Right. Where does that leave Pac? So Pac's he won a match to be number one contender for the international title. What it's called when it was called the international title.
But the former All Atlantic champion Pac. Mm-hmm. It will be facing MJF or Will Ospreay at All Out for the now American title,
whatever it is.
So, and then he'll be featured in some capacity at Wembley Stadium because he's from England. So yes, he'll have some sort of moment, but it's been ruined now by the Lucha Brothers. Because it was planned previously that they'd be winning. But anyway.
Was it planned that they were supposed to win the tag titles?
So yeah.
Oh, really?
No, the trios.
Oh, the trios. Oh, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you make of these trios and tag matches now that looks like both titles are going to be in, fucking triple threat matches or whatever the fuck you want to call them? Similar storylines, if
the end result for both of them will be in terms of trios matches or in triple threat or whatever.
Yeah.
Or three-way dances or whatever you want to call it these days. The end result, but they've been done in a different manner. It's been done really well for the Acclaimed, in particular. The whole storyline, the whole summer's been built around getting them to be taken more seriously, and not being reliant on Billy Gunn or whatever, and defeating the Bucks clean in Virginia, and then becoming more and more serious as the summer goes on, through the Blood and Guts, and then their interactions with FTR, kind of being at a boiling point. So it's achieved what it needed to. I think I've got a feeling that they'll do that will be a 4-way, and I reckon you'll have a different tag team appearing with them. I reckon you'll have either GYV or MCMG.
Oh, I suppose, yeah, you were saying that last week as well.
Yeah, I think I think Motor City Machine Guns. Liz agrees with me.
Yes, she's gone to bed there.
Like Elizabeth. But no, I think Motor City Machine Guns would be the perfect spot there.
Possibly, yeah. It'd be nice to see them.
I think,
I'd like to see JYV there as well, though.
and I think because I reckon, well, like FTR, I claim this weekend they'll probably finish without a clear winner.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and then from there you'll have ambiguity will reign, and then
the prize.
All three come out at All In, and then suddenly the Motor City, or you could have Liverpool's #1 Zach Gibson.
Soon, that would be epic. That would be absolutely epic.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, either or. I think an FTR GYV feud would be beyond epic if possible in the future.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think there was monetary disparity between the two sides when it was discussed previously. So, yeah, look, you could see what happens in the future.
Yeah, and similar with the trios, like we've got the Patriarchy, House of Black, and the Bang Bang.
Yeah, and I think there was supposed to be obviously it's supposed to be a fourth team in there, but two Mexican men have decided to go rogue and negate their contractual obligations.
So, is there maybe if there's not room for another tag team in the tag team match, is there room for another trios in this match? Maybe.
Who do you go with? Top Flight. Who do you do that's of that ilk? Like if Orange Cassidy is in the Gauntlet, and then you've got Tomohiro Ishii in the
he's on the
pre-show, so that kind of negates the idea of the conglomeration.
Yeah, it's a shame.
So,
what a shame that they're not getting the spot because they've been killing it at the minute.
It might be the Gauntlet.
Both of them, yeah.
Yeah, we could also do like Wardlow and the Kingdom or something.
Wardlow, where is fucking Wardlow?
He's injured. So is Perez Hobbs. Gammy needs. So that's your options. You're looking at like what established trio or like team and unit could you put into that. Trios are more awkward as well.
Yeah, there's no like surprise trios out in the Indies and UK that you could throw in there either. Really, is there?
You know, you could do Ricky Starks, Ray Phoenix, and Pentagon Zero. That'd be an interesting trio. Yeah.
You could do Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP, but they're still under contract. Some of them. No, sorry, Bobby Lashley's still under contract, right?
I think so.
Was he gone now?
I think so, yeah.
Is he?
Oh. I reckon you might see him in the Gauntlet match, maybe.
And not win it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some big surprises in that Gauntlet
match. I think you'll have
Ricochet, maybe, you know?
I think Ricochet will be there anyway, yeah. I don't know if you put Trevor Lee in that spot. I think one Debbie is more than enough, to be honest. Like, if they're doing Michael Oku and Ricochet, that's plenty.
Yeah. Michael Oku's definitely going to be there for All In.
What other? I was thinking earlier. There's other UK talents that like are being kind of overlooked in favor of Michael Oku, like so.
Gabe Kidd, he already appeared.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
Drilla Maloney.
I think Zack Sabre Jr. is the main one. I think Zack Sabre Jr. should be given what he's done, and his frequency of appearing on AEW, to travel from the UK or Japan to traverse America to lowly random towns across the North American peninsula, could be rewarded.
Reps and more reps.
Mm-hmm.
While we're on the subject of Arlington and everything that's going on there, this week's Collision is the last in the summer series for Arlington. What did you think of the show on Saturday, specifically the Texas Bull Rope match with Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo?
Very, very good. Yeah, and it goes to show that people who make up the critique of AEW doesn't focus on the women's division doesn't watch the show. Because I mean, this pay-per-view alone, they've got 3 different women's feuds that have been very well built, featured on the pay-per-view card. Mm-hmm. And then you've got this one that's been ticking along slowly in the background and escalating in terms of matches and stipulations and whatnot and thought behind them with different machinations and add-ons. It's been brilliant. really elevated the whole division and genre of women's wrestling within AEW. So yeah, I think it's been Gianna Peraza has been excellent. Thunder Rosa has been excellent, and it's good to see she was featured up front for the Texas announcement today ahead of more problematic female wrestlers in the AEW locker room. So yeah, it was really.
I don't know who you're talking about. Don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Somebody who gave Thunder Rosa a very, very hard time for a long time. What comes around goes around.
Have you pulled your teeth? And also, probably for the first time in a long time, I can remember. Anyway, it was a women's match open Dynamite with Sheeta.
Straight in, no kissing. It was very, very good. It's Hikaru Shida versus Mercedes Moné. It's absolutely excellent. Hikaru Shida is awesome. Mercedes Moné just looks more and more comfortable by the minute. Camille looks brilliant in everything she does, despite having to wait around for Britt Baker to saunter her way to the ring in her own leisurely pace, in her own timing. She did nobody any favors. Just looked kind of bland and banal, made Camille and Mercedes look quite ordinary. Even the way she came in the ring and just kind of just stood to the side and kicked her, and I don't know, it just seemed looked quite arrogant in how she moved and the lack of urgency in her movement and coming through the crowd, and it's kind of, do you know what I mean? Like she could have sprinted through the crowd and come in and jump Monet or something, but anyway, that might require a bit more effort. But anyway,
is there truth to the rumor that her and Jimmy Hayter are not on speaking terms anymore, or they're not going to be associated with each other?
Yes, true. Yeah, not the type of thing to discuss on the podcast.
No, I'm just like, because there was talks of originally, a few weeks back, that maybe Jimmy Hayter would have some. There's a chance that she'd come back for All In. She's not ready.
No, it's not appropriate conversation.
No, I'm just saying, like, is she ready for a return?
I've no idea. I'd be ashamed. There's certainly no idea on that, but just the whole Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker topic is.
No, I don't.
Sean Ross Sapp recklessly brought that up, so you should have ignored it anyway.
What else came up? Any other news came up this week?
Bryan Danielson had the time of his life. Well, Swerve Strickland murdered in broad daylight, Wheeler, Utah. Swerve Strickland is in incredible shape, and it's good to see people taking themselves seriously and how they look and how they perform. It was amazing final segment. That package was incredible. That's why I'm convinced Bryan Danielson is going to win everything. And then the way the promo that Swerve cut afterwards, and then come back in to take Bryan Danielson's head off, and just made Swerve look like a monster. It was amazing. Prior to that, you had the Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed. That felt a bit long.
You had 2 matches in a row then that had both DQ finishes, which is very rare for AEW.
They're both grand finishes. No, they weren't DQ finishes.
Was it not a DQ for the
match? No, the last one was a stoppage.
I thought they said it was a DQ.
No, it was a stoppage. The last one. DQ for the tag match, where Dax came out and Matt Jackson kind of rushed the spitting spot. So even the commentary team didn't really pick it up. I don't know. His facials were good in terms of kind of smiling before him, but he could have just taken a second or two or just kind of just gone rather than just really quickly like dinking him with a spit. But even I thought the whole thing was really well done in terms of that front. I mean, Dax double legging him and beating the piss out of him. To then the feud, to the blow up with the Acclaimed. Then everything was really, really well done in that segment. It just feels like this needs something slightly different in the tag team division generally. It's slightly stale, kind of going around in circles a bit.
Well, they're not defending the titles. They haven't, they're the champions, but they're not on TV. They're not wrestling as much as they should be.
Yeah, they're not. But they're quick to talk about how great they are on Instagram constantly. But anyway, rather without having to do much work or doing any work really for it.
But is that part of the stick? Is that part of their thing? That's like,
I don't think so. I mean, they keep talking about how they're just constantly tweeting and commenting on each other's Instagram stories about how they're the greatest of all time, and it seemed to be quite serious about it. So, each their own. But I think this needs something slightly different in that tag team division, as we touched on previously. Yeah, what else happened on AEW? There's a
couple of
MJF and
a
Will
lot of
Ospreay.
packages, a lot of interviews.
Yeah, everything was really well built throughout the show.
Hook and Jericho, or are they fine?
All these absolute mutants
Aloha.
online are now like, just feed me your tears because Chris Jericho is over again. Feed me your tears, you sad troglodytes. Like
troglodytes.
Because they've been like, oh my god, he's like, get me out of the Jericho vortex. No, fucking watch last night. The reaction he gets. He's so over again. Let him be, like, just because like you don't like him and you're a small percentage of the wrestling viewers. You sit on Twitter or you sit on Discord and you moan and you think because you have a certain level of critique and understanding that you can dictate to the rest of the wrestling audience. Wrestling is a TV show at the end of the day, and so like it's about appealing to more than just the top 1% of wrestling fans. So, and he's done that, and he's built up at least 3 or 4 people in this feud that he's built up already. Like, so I mean, between Hook, who suddenly I didn't realize could speak, spoke quite okay.
Great New York accent, by the way. Great New York accent.
New York accent from Long Island or whatever it is.
Red Hook. That's why he's called.
And then
Hook.
you've got
from Red Hook.
I think he is. And then
that's where Taz is from, so I'm presuming that's why he's called Hook.
And then you've got Big Bill, also from New York, and then Brian Keith, they're all freshly. They all seem fresh and entirely new under this learning tree segment. Do you know what I mean? Before, where would they be doing otherwise? They're all made. It was a really good segment, and even when he came out, Chris Jericho goes, "Hi guys," and the whole stadium, the whole arena goes, "Hi Chris." It was excellent, and then I just see like everybody on Twitter erupting, like, "Oh, this is terrible! He's back on my TV again." It's like, no, because you sit around with your podcasting friends and think you're slick and know better, that like you think you can dictate what should and shouldn't be on television. No, he's fucking doing well, and it's like people are allowed to enjoy what they enjoy. It doesn't have to be exactly to your taste constantly.
Yeah, well, he knows what he's doing. He's been around long enough to know.
Yeah.
How to wind people up and do it on purpose. Like, so, he's playing a character at the end of the day. If you know who Chris Jericho is, or if you listen to this podcast, he's complete opposite of what he's playing on TV. He's just hyping his ego up to 1,000 in this fucking character, and it's working because it's pissing people off the right way. People are tuning in, they see him lose. That's the whole purpose of being a heel, is people want you to lose. So like, he's obviously, they're putting, if Hook loses, he can never face Jericho again, or face him for the title again. Like, so I'm not really sure. Like, are they looking to end this feud? If it ends after this match, does it mean Jericho wins so they can get rid of Hook off this feud and move him on to something else? Or does Hook win, and then is Jericho going to be looking for a rematch again? It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
What do you think is going to happen?
I prefer Jericho to still be champion. I don't think Hook needs that title. It's not really a title, at the end of the day.
I think it'll end up having another 6-man. I think somehow you'll have Samoa Joe will come back at the show, and it'll be the big pop for the Joe, and then you'll have Shibata will turn up, and you'll have it might escalate to a 6-man at All In or a 6-man at All Out. Like, it's
All Out, maybe
even an All In, it might escalate to that. You've got another episode of Rampage Collision and another week of Dynamite Rampage Collision before All In. There's been no graphic announced for Jericho Hook as of yet either.
Not technically, no.
Yeah, so until I see that, I'm not assuming anything. I didn't think it'd be a one-on-one match, given the amount of one-on-one matches are on the card.
I'd probably drag it out until Arthur Ashe. It's in New York, so Hook is as New York as they come. So why not give him a?
So is Chris Irvine.
Match? Well, technically, he was born and raised.
Yeah, he's born and raised. Like, he's born and raised in New York. Like, he's
he was not raised there. He was there when he was younger. Like, but he was raised in Winnipeg. We're going back to Winnipeg. Kids don't shut up.
Yeah.
I think anything else happened on the show that was worth noting. Like, we've got Collision coming up on Saturday. We've got FTR and the Acclaimed.
The MJF Ospreay package is really, really good as well.
Did
you watched any of the MJF interviews the past few days?
No, I haven't got a chance to watch them yet.
He was He's had one sit downs with the losers over at Wrestle Talk and the nerds at Cultaholic. They're all nerds.
We're all nerds, Mark. We're all fucking nerds.
Yeah, but there's levels to these things. People just But it was so funny. He was talking about Kyle Fletcher. Like, I had my way with a young Australian boy, and I enjoy having my way with young Australian boys. And he kept saying this over and over again, just to make the interviewer from Cultaholic more and more uncomfortable. But what is wrong with having your way with a young boy? It was like
so bad.
There's no coming back from it, but it was so deadpan, and he was brilliant throughout from both interviews. He's just tearing into them all, and quite rightly calling them out for their blatant clickbait thumbnails and headlines they have every time they promote something over the last 18 months. It's almost as if they've been instigated and rewarded for doing so over the last 2 years. But anyway, it's funny how their content has shifted dramatically from Cultaholic, Wrestle Talk, and What Culture Wrestling. They've all done a complete 180 in their views, likes, and tastes. So anyway.
Yeah, in what way? What have they changed?
Just
take notice.
Embellishing negativity, chasing clickbait headlines, and listen, that's it's a business at the end of the day, but it's very disingenuous and lack of integrity. So anyway, and publishing things that they know. It was one of the funny things MJF called out Wrestle Talk for. It was like, you guys were posting the wrong All-In Wembley figure last year, and then after it was proven that the figure that was circulated was being circulated by a different wrestling company and was also proven to be wrong, you didn't run a retraction, did you? And they're like, so it's I was just things like that. It was just very, very funny seeing people on camera being called out, but while in character as well. But he's also like, yeah, like I'm sitting here with you, but you're also pricks.
Yeah.
I
should go back. I should go watch them. Like, I don't get a chance to sit down and watch them.
He's very, very entertaining. It was very different to the Bryan Danielson ones, where they were just kind of constantly just trying to bring him back. Yeah, but what about Daniel Bryan? Would you go back to WWE? Gorilla position? Like, no. Like, fucking, he's promoting a far better show. Like, so just let him be.
Any news? Any interviews coming up over the next few weeks before we're all in? Anything we've got?
I've been frantically busy, and sorry, like I've gotten in the way, and I've speaking to a number of different people, from the likes of Zilla Fatu, to Leah James, to Dean Mutadi, and a few different things in the works. But I'll be posting another A Steel story this evening, maybe a short, and that's all for the time being. But no, we're all ramping up, getting ready for next week.
Yes,
it'll be a wonderful week, and we're all still recovering from OTT at the weekend, Jerry. So
unbelievable.
Next week is going to be incredible. We've got AEW Cardiff, and then you're going to be at Rev Pro as well. And then we've got AEW All In. Huge week of wrestling next week.
Massive week, massive 10 days.
Yeah, so I should be in attendance for the media junket and the post-show scrum. So be brilliant.
Yep.
Really, really exciting. I think if there's kind of a sense and a feeling at the minute, like obviously the restore the feeling kind of crap. That's been knocked in the head now, because people have kind of got past that, and there is a sense of anticipation again. And somebody was talking a while ago that, like, you watch an episode of Dynamite and then you feel great about it. Pretty much this is a weekly schedule at this stage. You think, AEW's in a really good position. Then you go on Twitter or something, and people are going out of the way to try to change the discourse and the sense and the feeling of it. But it wasn't that last night. It was, somebody quite rightly pointed out to me this morning, it was telling how quiet Twitter was last night. Because people couldn't find fault other than Bully Ray tried his best.
Oh, about the poster, about not having Swerve front and center.
He was doing that beforehand. But it was about Camille and Britt Baker, which was a small thing, but like he was trying to make a big story out of it, and like something really minuscule and small, like that's not going to really affect the show in any detrimental way. It was just a timing issue, and then Camille even called him out on it on Twitter. So, but Bully Ray's under a WWE contract, and he'll be starting as a producer in January. So there you are, if you want to have that scoop for yourself. So will Devon as well, by the way. When you see them, the two of them, Devon does a wrestling show
Yeah.
We critiques AEW. Bully Ray does the same with Busted Open. They critique and slate AEW. So just know it's very transparent. It's disingenuous. It's fake. So yeah, listen, people need money. What can you do? It's all part of the game.
It's easy. It's easy to do.
It's easy to do. Yeah. So no, listen, it's an incredibly exciting time again. I'm buzzing with potentially Bryan Danielson's last match, obviously. MJF, Will Ospreay. I think they've got a new setup with a ramp this year, so there's going to be more production, bigger emphasis on stage and pyro and music. And
how big and obscene and obnoxious is MJF's entrance going to be at All In?
I've no idea. I don't know. I don't work. I don't have no idea these things.
No, I'm just saying in your head, like if you're a fantasy booking, like
what do you do? Like, he's brought out in like a throne last year with him.
Rocky IV, Apollo Creed comes down out of the rafters with James Brown singing "Living in America."
That's excellent. That is absolutely excellent. But what I think he's going to do, I actually think he's going to do, because he wore the yellow and red at Rev Pro.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come out to I am a real and like 50 to 60,000 people are going to go. It's like, I think that would be amazing. I think if he did that, and because I don't think that's not a WWE original song, so it's the type of thing you can. It's
not. They don't have the license. They don't, like, WWE don't own the license to that, right?
Yeah, you can license it for a night. Do you know what I mean? That's the type of thing you could do. And I think Will Ospreay is somebody who doesn't need a big entrance. Being Will Ospreay, have camera focus. Like this, you can do the same music themes you did last year with the slow musical interlude building up to the piano elevated, slowly building up. Do the same thing again.
His entrance at Rev Pro for Michael Oku with everybody coming out in his robes was.
I don't think you need that. I think
I'm saying that was a cool entrance.
I would just have just him on a stage on his own, and like present him as the star rather than needing any bells and whistles for him. Because it'd be late into the night as well, just a spotlight on him and just really take your time with it. Like, I think you'll have a Hangman and a John Moxley entrance at some point in the show as well. Bryan Danielson obviously had the final countdown. Yeah, so you got those. Swerve will obviously have a bit of an entourage with him, kind of performing his song as he did last year. Like that last year at All In was where it dawned on like so many of us that, like, okay, sure, he's the man. Like,
even though he ended up in the coffin.
No, I know, yeah, but his entrance, it just suddenly was like, okay, shit, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like that match with Sting's entrance with Darby, then that Swerve entrance, it was kind of just after dusk.
I have if you go onto our YouTube channel, I have their Sting and Darby's full entrance from last year, the Metallica song coming out. I've watched it at least. There's probably 100 views there just from me alone. Just I keep going back and watching it, how good it was.
Sorry, speaking of Darby, the Darby Jack Perry promos and backstage stuff last night was very good. Darby just couldn't take a no shit about Jack Perry. And quite rightly, it's quite cool to see that even though the Elite kind of leveraged their notoriety and status to hire so many crap wrestlers, and hire so many people who turn out to be toxic, the likes of Frankie Kazarian, who's gone out of his way to bury AEW at every opportunity backstage, every talent in the world. That as there's been a turnover in staff and talent and whatnot, those who have been more loyal to AEW over the Elite, and the ones who are loyal to AEW and want to work to build the place up, happen to be the ones who aren't necessarily loyal to the Elite. It's been brilliant. They're being rewarded for it. So no, it's just funny to see that kind of turnaround. The Cucamonga California crew kind of being isolated in comparison. So no, Darby's brilliant. I have a feeling that during his coffin match with Jack Perry, I think they're going to open a coffin and Sting will come out.
Really?
Yeah. I think he will. Yeah.
Was he not ridden up into the sunset and?
Yeah, but he's not
Maybe Sting's son.
I could just see him coming out of a coffin, doing a splash or something, or just coming out, open a coffin that's standing up. They open the door and he has his bat and he walks Jack Cherry down with the bat under the chin and then just like hits him in the stomach and that, just something like that.
Do you think Darby's? I'm not. It's not a prediction show, but do you think Darby is walking away with the title in that match?
Yeah, I thought I was telling that Darby was at the press conference today for the Arlington show next year. So I think he will be. I have a feeling he will.
Interesting.
So 1 week in advance, we've got Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland, we've got Tony Storm, Mariah May, we've got Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné, we've got MJF, Will Ospreay, we've got Darby Allin, Jack Perry, we've got a Casino Gauntlet, we've got Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii versus Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander. What's the 8th match we have?
It hasn't been official. The Patriarchy and
I think there's 8 matches. I think there's currently 8 matches currently listed. But anyway, so you could have the Patriarchy, House of Black versus Bullet Club Gold. Then you could have the Acclaimed, FTR, Young Bucks. That'd be 9 matches. And potentially a Jericho versus Hook match as well. So that'd be 10. I think last year there was 11 or 12, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like 13.
So I think you'll probably end up with 11 or 12 again.
Gauntlet match. Chris Jericho and Hook is official now. I think it's
is that official?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so listen, what we'll do is for our wonderful people, 219 people watching us here now, as we ruminate on these fascinating events about to unfold, we will do a full breakdown and predictions following it. The two of us attending AEW Dynamite and Cardiff tapings next week in Cardiff in Wales. As both of us will be there at Credential Media. So
in Cardiff, we'll be live. We'll go live, will we? In person.
We can indeed. We can go in person. We can from our creepy little bedroom. Yes.
It's not that creepy, is it? What's occurring? Steve Wilson. What up, man? He's coming to London. He'll be there. He's looking for he's buzzing for the atmosphere in the city.
Amazing.
Was his favorite part last year. Steve was.
Yeah.
We met Steve. I think we met Steve in Scotland there for.
Yeah, Steve is. Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting Steve again. Absolute legend of a guy. He's a Rangers fan as well, so we can commiserate over that. Listen, we look forward to he's coming down with his mates and stuff as well. So it'd be good to catch up with him, and a huge amount of other people have already been in touch this week, seeing who's doing what, be it media or otherwise. So, listen, if anybody sees us in the area, give us a shout. Tell us we're crap. Tell us we're great.
We are shit.
We're shit. Well, we've no notions of ourselves like most people on here do. So there you do. But listen, we're very, very, very excited. 1 week removed from the biggest weekend of the year. So thank you to everybody who's been watching us over the last number of weeks. Thank you to everybody who's kind of supported us, the 219 people currently watching us. And we're very, very excited for the weeks ahead. And we're going to be doubling down on our content in this space as well. And there's some very, very exciting things on the AEW front in particular. So thank you very, very much on my end. Jared.
Thanks, everybody. As always, subscribe to Body Slam, subscribe to the Irish Wrestling Entertainment page, follow us everywhere. Leave your comments on if you're not watching live and you're watching it back, let us know your prediction for All In, or let us know what you're looking forward to most. And if you are, like Mark said, if you are around Cardiff or you're in London next week, let us know where you are. Give us a shout, and we'll try and meet up with everybody somewhere outside Wembley, maybe.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks, guys.